everyone, it's Tyranitar 2 analysis video. So now that I finally got my hands on a lot more unreleased Pokemon and items, we can finally move on with these analysis videos. So today, we're going to be looking at the second hidden legendary in Generation 6, Hoopa. Now, Hoopa is the 720th Pokemon in the National Dex, coming right after Diancie, who was recently distributed for the first time as a Japanese Wonder Card event in mid-July. And that puts Hoopa next on the list to be officially revealed next. Hoopa is known as the Mischief Pokemon, and I mean, just look at this thing. It looks like the biggest troublemaker in the world. It has the appearance of a small, childish goblin. It has horns that curve and point upward, markings around its body, and a top knot on its head. It also carries rings on its horns and around its stomach with a fading bottom like a ghost soul. Its shiny model gives its entire body a goldish tint except for its eyes. Hey, maybe King Midas touched him. And if that doesn't give you the troublemaker feel, just ask the Pokedex. Its entries state that it gathers things it likes and pushes them through its loop to teleport them to a secret place. This troublemaker sends anything and everything to faraway places using its loop, which can warp space. And listen to its cry. Is that not the cry of a little devious instigator? This is the type of Pokemon that'll throw a rock at you during your graduation. Hoopa is a Ghost Psychic type, and is in fact the first and only Ghost Psychic type as of Generation 6. Ghost and Psychic is an amazing typing offensively, with almost perfect type coverage, but defensively, it's a debatably bad typing. While it's 4 times weak to Ghost and Dark attacks, that's all it's weak to, and there are Pokemon that have it much worse that are still relevant, like Tyranitar, with 7 weaknesses including a 4 times weakness to fighting, and with a strong team, Hoopa can be a really good asset. It gets the ability Magician, which steals the item of a Pokemon you hit if you don't already have an item. Magician is a decent ability and can be used to mess up the opponent's strategies, but it seems like Game Freak gave Hoopa this ability for the sole purpose of relating to its mischievous behavior, which makes me feel like there's something bigger coming ahead of Hoopa, like a Mega Evolution like they surprisingly gave to Diancie. Hoopa has a base stat total of 600, focusing mainly on its attack, special attack, and special defense. It's like an Alakazam that sacrifices speed for mixed offenses. It has a decent special move pool with mostly stab attacks, as well as a few other attacks like Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, and Energy Ball. And like Diancie, Hoopa gets its own signature move known as Hyperspace Hole, a base 80 special psychic attack, and what makes it so unique is that it can never miss, even if the opponent uses Protect. And in combination with its Magician ability, it can literally be used as a devious thief in battle, messing up the opponent's strategies. But while Hyperspace Hold does have its benefits, Psychic actually appears to be the better option. I mean, sure, Hyperspace Hold may come in handy when your accuracy is decreased, or your opponent has a stalling set like a Toxic Staller, but those situations aren't common enough that it's worth running Hyperspace Hold. But hey, it's still a great attack, and if you're like me and you don't mind running a slightly weaker attack that can never miss, you'll find it's still a great attack. But moving back, what's confusing about Hoopa is the fact that it has a pretty good special move pool for its crazy good special attack, but a very limited physical move pool for its also high attack. Why does it even have good attack in the first place if it can literally learn only a few physical attacks? It's wasted potential and wasted stats, and if it just dropped its attack for more defense or speed, it would be an amazing Pokemon. But it's still a really good Pokemon that can demolish opponents that don't resist its special attacks, and it can easily get the upper hand against special opponents. Now, Hoopa actually has a lot of potential when it comes to competitive battling. A good set you can run on it is a Trick Room set to put the arena in your favor. With the Psychic, Ghost, and Fighting move in your set, you'll be able to threaten a huge part of the opponent's team and deal some serious damage before going down. You just gotta watch out for slower Pokemon that can outspeed you, especially physical attackers. Another really good set you can run is a Choice Specs Trick set, where you can blast the opponent with Specs boosted attacks and cripple a Pokemon with Trick if it's posing a threat to your team. And one big thing to remember while battling is that a lot of Pokemon in the Generation 6 metagame run knockoff, so that's something to watch out for, as it can easily knock out Hoopa. In the Parfum Palace, this lady talks about how this room was once filled with all kinds of gold and silver works, and if you take your event Hoopa to this traveler standing upstairs in the Parfum Palace library, it'll activate an event. He'll explain how he's been traveling the world researching about supernatural events, and how Hoopa is connected to many of them. He also explains various mysteries and discoveries related to Hoopa. Hoopa can use its 3 rings to move objects around, and when it releases its full power, the size of its rings can grow large enough to transport even islands. It is said to have a lair located in an oasis in the desert, filled with mountains and mountains of gold and silver it has stolen from around the world. He also tells a story about an organization that selfishly tried to use Hoopa for its power, until objects started to disappear from the organization one by one, until they found their entire headquarters transported to the middle of a desert. And finally, the event ends off with the traveler exclaiming how Hoopa needs a trainer that can take care of it right, as it can either be a very trustworthy partner or a great misfortune depending on how the trainer treats it. As of now, there is no legal way to obtain Hoopa. We're not even supposed to know that this little troublemaker exists. It's expected that Hoopa will be distributed as a Wonder Card event in the near future, just how Diancie was. But anyways, that's it for this analysis video. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and let me know your thoughts on Hoopa, from its abilities to its stats to anything on your mind about Hoopa. There's gonna be a few more exclusive analysis videos on other Pokemon in these games, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out.